Previously on Minecraft.
This very episode, we will be building up the village. These are two trusted companions. Mannerheim, yes, that is correct. Boom. Mannerheim, that's his name, I guess. Need to stop calling him Mannerheim. That's any English speakers, you can call him that, but it's Mannerheim. Yeah. There we go. I have now encompassed the next, layer of the town. And this is mainly just animals, for animals. This is like farmland. Animals will be able to roam free around here. Let's get that bastard. Let's get him! Oh crap. I didn't count for two. Yeah, chase him off. Chase the bastard. Chase that. Yeah! You got him! Good boy!
Greetings there, people of the world. IonicGecko here today with some more Minecraft. Now, today's episode is one of a kind. It's honestly just gonna be pure time-lapse, no audio. I'll explain why, but because of that, I understand if no one is really interested in watching, so that's fine. This a lot as I've said for the longest time, I make videos first and foremost for myself because I enjoy it. I enjoy just editing, putting together some semi-creative, even if it's just gameplay. But so this is mainly for me. A lot of it's because I wanted to document the change that Abydos, Sand Place 1, like the town, the village I have in Minecraft, how it's changed over several hours. This hour's worth of time-lapse footage is 12 hours of actual gameplay of me. And now there's no audio because when I was playing, I was watching or listening to and watching videos and podcasts, and so it recorded all of that as well. So you would hear, sped up sounds of conversations that aren't the game. So I just muted it, and there's some music in the background, obviously. But yeah, this is gonna be just an exploration in what I've done. Now here, I'll just real quick try and explain what I'm doing. This is me building an elevator, basically, a minecart elevator, to get up from the mines underneath Abydos to the surface, because I went mining. There's so much, as I explained in the previous episodes, and as you've seen, I'm sure, the mine shafts underneath the village is massive. It's the biggest mine shaft I've ever come across, and I've yet to find the end. I've yet to explore all of it. It is massive. There might even be multiple mine shafts that have been merged together, but still, it makes this immensely huge mine shaft. But yeah, this is me digging out the elevator, so I had to make it a 3x3 hole in order for me to have enough space to actually run the yeah, that's me changing the population. Also, yeah, the population was 6 at this point in this footage, and at the end, well, actually I'm not sure if I bred anyone else at the end of this, but currently the population of Abydos is probably 3 times that much, at least, if not more. But yeah, so yeah, you can see this is me in the mines, just digging out stuff, finding resources, exploring, lighting everything up, digging out. Basically, there's obviously mine shafts, as you know, have the wood, have the rail, have the resources, and it's dark. So every tunnel that I've found is now lit up. The wood has been removed, the rails have been removed. Yeah, and then there was chests, obviously, where I found name tags. But, yeah, so all the rail, for example, I have so many stacks of rail. I've not crafted any. Every piece of rail that I have found in this mine shaft. So, and there's a lot, as you can see. I'm just going through. It's hard to kind of follow what's going on, obviously, but again, 12 hours of footage, and if I want to show it all, I have to speed it up. I believe this is around 800% or maybe 1,000% sped up. Obviously, you can do the math. 12 hours to approximately 1 hour. Now, it doesn't have everything, and I'm like, it was probably more than 12 hours. Either way. Yeah, and I died. As you can see, I died quite a few times because it's on hard. My challenge is to still use only leather armor, so it was tricky. It's tricky. But yeah, you can see me constructing everything, and then yeah, whenever I have used the F3 screen just to hide my coordinates, I have to blur everything because I don't want anyone to find the village. Eventually I want to open up this world to at least my friends, so they can find or explore in the same server that I have in my town. But I don't want them to know exactly where it is, so they have to find it. And I might also open up this to other people, and if not that, then I'll upload my world's or save file. And obviously, you can use the seed Geckoverse. If you just use that seed, you'll get the same exact world. Obviously, you won't spawn in the same place necessarily, but again, just to hide the coordinates of my village, I blurred the numbers. Anyway, yeah, this was me underneath. I had found a nice little lava pool, and I think I did some branch mining just to get basic resources. Obviously I had to craft quite a few powered rail, but even so, I found some in chests. But this was me creating rail all the way down to this lava pool. Like this rail I don't even really use anymore. There's so many other destinations that I've built. And then obviously on the surface, I have a kind of like a station well, it's not done yet. Obviously, like I said, the space elevator, freaking minecart elevator isn't even complete here. But yeah, you can see that was me. I guess I did craft a few rails at this point because I hadn't gotten too many. I'm not quite sure, honestly. But 95% of all the rail I have, I found in the shaft. But yeah, this is me testing out the system. Excuse me. Apologies for the cough. I have a bunch of phlegm and stuff in my throat, so. Yeah, and a wandering trader, Waldo the Wandering Trader, came around. I got some pod sol from him and probably some dye, I can't remember. But yeah, you can see Sam Place 1 kind of just briefly here, where there's the farm and just some of the buildings that are complete, some aren't. It looks way different now. You'll see it in the next episode, in fact, on how it's changed and this is me building a chicken farm, basically, or chicken coop, or more or less. Like it was there. It's where I had them all entrapped, so that I can breed them, because in the end, chicken will be the primary food source. I'm going to be creating just automatic chicken, cooked chicken, like dispenser, so I can get the food from them. Oh right, and then obviously zombies coming out. Oh right, this was interesting. I built a bamboo. I surrounded my super tree house, or super tree. The tree house itself isn't done, but I surrounded the tree with a bunch of bamboo. So hopefully I'll have a little time lapse of that where you can actually see it growing, because right now, honestly, it's one of the cooler features of the town. I think makes it a little unique. This massive tree tower just out there. I honestly, this is the most time I've dedicated to a single village in Minecraft. Kind of built it up and everything. I'm very happy. I've had to save. I'm saving, obviously, the my world as backup because I don't want to lose this. This is very cool. I really enjoy. Yet to go to the Nether though. That is on the docket, on the agenda. That will be happening. It's just all this time I've just been wanting to build everything up. So that's one reason I didn't want to just record and do regular commentary, because imagine 12 hours of me just building stuff and talking. That would be freaking at least 12 episodes if I didn't cut anything out. That's why I wanted to time lapse it, because how many people are honestly interested in seeing that? Oh yeah, that me making some hoppers for that chicken farm, because when they lay eggs, I wanted to collect them obviously, and I have more eggs than I'll need, or because they keep popping them out. So, and then this whole design changed a bunch, and now it's basically just a place for chickens to roam. It will change obviously, but the farm, it's interesting seeing this now because the farm is way bigger, way different. I think I had 2 farmers at this point. There are way more than that currently. Then making some gates for the fence. Obviously I want to name all these fences, or basically put the town name there. But yeah, here you can see kind of me as I go up a bit of how the bamboo's grown around. It looks really cool in my opinion. And then I was just kind of making the area around the tree kind of more like an oasis almost, like it's partially in the desert with this cool, got the trees, got the bamboo. The bamboo is actually handy. It prevents mobs from getting through. They often just get stuck. Their pathfinding they can't find a way through bamboo because often you can't fit from one spot. And yeah, anyways, I think it's cool. I'll have to show it off at some point. Yeah, when it rains on these shaders, Zeus's unbelievable. Yeah, Zeus's Sonic Ether's unbelievable shaders. Yeah, I liked the way water and everything looked. There's a great shot of the town now, or then I should say, where there's not a whole lot there, but it looks pretty cool. I'll throw up like a freeze frame or something so you can take a better look. This was me kind of building up the rest of that tree house, or the tree. The tree house isn't done yet. That I will dedicate to an episode of its own, because I want to make like a Finnish cottage sort of up there, and usually those are made of spruce, spruce trees are very prevalent in Finland, so I want to make it out of spruce logs and make it very cool, because it will eventually be my home, but it requires also the Nether, and I will not explain any further, but I need to go to the Nether. And that, again, will be its own episode. There's obviously the looming... Oh, yeah, here's me doing the branch mining, by the way. But the looming pillager outpost, I mean, it's quite close to town. It's visible whenever you... in the background with my view distance. And it's not that high. It's only probably a couple hundred blocks away, if that. And... there. Oh, yeah, phantoms obviously, because as I was building, I didn't really go to sleep in this. So, if you didn't know, phantoms show up if you don't sleep consistently. They'll just show up to haunt your nightmares or your dreams. Oh, and I found diamonds, yes. And in fact, this is where I dug around the diamonds. I've yet to actually mine that. I was waiting to get a enchanted diamond pick with Fortune 3, which currently I have, and I'm gonna go mine that stuff, but also I want to do it in an episode, because why not? But yeah, every time I found diamond, I kind of just mined out the blocks around it, so I can later on go and mine it, because obviously with Fortune you get more, and that's what I wanted. Oh yeah, the phantoms were actually there. There's a lot of them spawned, and they almost killed me a couple times here, but eventually I did vanquish them. And just going to sleep obviously removes them. They'll just catch fire during the day and won't come back for a few nights. Yeah, well, my chest here, very unorganized. That has been solved now. There's a whole separate building full of chests, kind of like everyone when you organize things. Made a smoker as well to cook food faster. But yeah, it's crazy looking at this now. The town has changed a lot. Even that pumpkin farm there, everything's moved. You'll see. I mean, just stay tuned. Like I said, if you're watching this, thank you. Again, not a whole lot exciting is going to happen in this because this is primarily for me, kind of just to reflect and look back. And yeah, I guess I don't really have to upload this, but I want to in case anyone's actually interested in what the town looked like, what the village looked like before, because it looks way different now. It's close to it's a town at this point. I have a decent amount of people. Although I guess village, yeah. What constitutes a town versus a village? I don't know. So I guess it's still a village. Yeah, this is just in the desert. All the bamboo's growing. It looks so cool. Oh, and yeah, another wandering trader. They come. I don't know what the frequency is, but they show up. I've had a few already come around. Well, oftentimes their trades are pretty crap, so I don't really trade with them, but sometimes they'll have something rare that I don't even know where to get, so I'll try and get it. But it also, they need emeralds, and I've yet to get rich, as it were, on those, so I can't really get the emeralds. Oh yeah, here we go. This is me actually finally building the minecart elevator. It's in that 3x3 hole, so you just go up. It's kind of like a staircase, or a spiral staircase with the tracks and the blocks. But yeah, once it was done, it's a great way to just go up and down into the mines quickly, versus like on foot. Although the ravine is still a great place to enter, but that side of the shaft has been pretty much fully explored, so it's faster to go in through here with the minecarts to get to all the goodies, because there's still so many goodies to find. There's some more branch mining here. Don't think I found any more diamonds down in these ones, but what else? I mean, Minecraft in general, I kind of touched on it in the previous episode at the beginning, where I had a similar time-lapsed footage. But Minecraft, when it first came out, when I first saw it, I really had no interest in this game. I remember seeing it, I was like, blocky textures. I mean, that just looks stupid. I realized it was kind of retro, but I was like, I'm not it. And also the appeal, too cartoony, you know, zombies, and I've never been a fan of fantasy, and this is... there are fantasy elements, so you could classify this as a fantasy game, but... So I was like, whatever. But then the more I saw of the gameplay, like the footage, the more... You know, I got interested. It slowly kind of piqued my interest. I was like, so you can do all this stuff. You can build all your own houses. Okay, they're blocky, but hey, it has a certain charm. You know, it grew on me, you could say. Minecraft grew on me, and when I first played, I was like, this is so cool, you know, because it's a super open world, you know. It was the first, is this voxel-based? I guess, yeah, right? Game that I had heard of, where, you know, it generated randomly all these blocks in this world, and I just found that cool and interesting, because I hadn't seen a game do that. And in the years, because I started playing in 2012, that was when I first touched upon it. It was at the end of 2012 is when I got into it, got in my first world and messed around. And obviously back then I was still missing a lot of stuff. I just started playing right before the nether quartz was introduced. So I was playing, and then the next update was nether quartz and stuff, like some nether updates. And I guess the wither skeleton came in during that time, and the wither, obviously. So yeah, it's been a while since I've played, but then I stopped for several years. I played in 2014 again. 2012, yeah, up until 2014, they introduced horses. That was cool. But after that, I didn't really play it. I haven't played it since, and I know there was the ocean update where there is a bunch of underwater stuff. And what else? Then obviously now just recently the village and pillage. So there's a whole bunch of stuff I've yet to even experience. So starting the game up, a few months ago, it's going to be a long adventure. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be a long time before I stop playing, because I want to expand this village. I want to make it into a proper city. I want there to be hundreds of villagers. And there are some monuments I want to build, and because it's in survival, 100% pure vanilla survival, that's what I'm playing. I don't intend to cheat. The only cheat, as I've explained, and it's not really even a cheat, I suppose, somewhat, yes, okay. I have a second account, which I get a lot of my third-person footage from, as you might have seen. And because it's in spectator mode, so I can't do anything, but I have cheats, so I can teleport with that particular character. But really, I don't. The beauty is I can fly around wherever, so I'm kind of like the three-eyed raven. That's kind of what I've classified as three-eyed raven, so I can fly around and kind of scout ahead. But I don't. I really haven't flown that far. I kind of just fly around to load in as many chunks as possible, so view distance is high. But I can kind of explore with that if I wanted to. But I haven't. Again, I feel like it's cheating to go somewhere where I my character, like my in-game player model, can't go. And so I won't cheat. But I use it to just kind of get the cool angles and wide shots and everything, time lapses. So. That is the closest thing to cheating. So it's pure survival, except for the second character I have, with which I can indeed kind of explore further out if I wanted to. But yeah, because I want to have just a pure vanilla experience. I like the vanilla look and feel of the game. The only thing, like I said, I have shaders on because I like to have realistic lighting. Changes the game in a way to where it makes it more believable, I guess. I can the suspension of disbelief for me is lowered. Right? Yeah, lowered. I can buy into the game more when lights emit realistic lighting and stuff. Yeah, here you can see I'm just, again, mining. A lot of this is going to be me mining because that's pretty much what I did this whole time. Mined and built. Mined and built some structures. Mined, built some more structures. Mined, built some more structures. But it's Minecraft. That's what you do. You mine and you craft items. You build structures. That is the essence of this game. So if you're surprised, then why you obviously don't play it. But yeah, what else is there to say? Give me a second. Yeah, so mining and building, that's essentially what this was. And apologies for this commentary. I haven't written anything down. This was just me, I wanted to have some sort of audio track here, because obviously you won't hear the gameplay sounds. It's an hour's worth of time lapse, but I am not the greatest speaker, and if I don't have any coherent thoughts, I kind of just ramble and do ums and all that. I'll try and make this sound okay, but again, primarily for myself. If you're watching this, then you just have the dedication and interest, and I appreciate that. Truly, I do. I wouldn't imagine that very many people are interested in watching my stuff. Oh, cave spiders, by the way, you can see I have half a heart. Oh man, I hate cave spiders. Oh, here's a good little tidbit. The potatoes you see, I have cooked potatoes. I didn't have any potatoes in this town. But as you know, zombies, they have a chance of dropping potatoes. They have a chance of dropping carrots. My carrot supply and potato supply was from zombies. They dropped these things, and I was able to use those to grow this massive amount, the stockpile of potatoes and carrots, mainly just from one little loot drop from zombies. So they're useful in a way, because obviously you don't get these. You get the
crops that you have when the village is created and you go there. This place only had wheat and beetroot, so no potatoes, no carrots. So I got those from zombies. Very useful. Like I said, most of the stuff I've looted, mined found. I haven't most things I have not crafted unless it's something that doesn't really drop from mobs. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting little thing. But you can see all this wood, all these tracks, everything, and I've mined out. I have so much wood, all the sticks. I don't need a forest. I'm in the desert, so I'm lucky that there was this mine shaft, this massive, huge, extensive mine shaft that has all this wood, all these resources. That means I don't have to, I don't have to go out and chop down trees. Obviously I have a tree farm now. Oh, that was me burning myself. But I have a tree farm now where I have jungle trees, oak trees, acacia trees, because I was able to obtain saplings for those. You might remember my extensive search for the freaking jungle biome. Luckily, it's not too far, so if I ever do run out, I can always get some more saplings from there. And the one thing I don't have are birch. What else? Birch trees. Am I missing a tree? A spruce. I think I have saplings, spruce saplings, so I can actually grow those as well. I think birch is the only one that I don't have. Yeah. Oh, and slimes. Yeah, slime, because after I was mined out that the shaft, big enough area on the level where slime spawned, where slime spawned, there was a slime that spawned, and I killed that. So get slime balls. Slime balls are necessary for a lot of things, mainly leads, which I needed to actually lead around my horse and tie it to fence posts and everything, so highly useful. Found a diamond in a chest as well. Minecart chests are, they're like all treasures. They might have good stuff, might not. But I remember finding my first diamond in I guess, like, when you think about it, it was a chest in a desert temple, but those are like coffins, sarcophagi with all the bones and stuff. But yeah, that's where I found my first diamond. This is good. I was building, as you can see now that there's the minecart elevator is done. I have a kind of a station up on the surface, and I wanted to make it so I could send up multiple minecarts with chests up there to, so I can mine, send up a chest, continue mining, send up another chest. But obviously I wanted them to be able to, stay up there, so I had to create my own kind of redstone minecart, prevent them from coming back down, obviously. And so the redstone thing that I came up with was purely just from my knowledge of redstone. I didn't look up a tutorial. I often don't want to look up tutorials unless it's something I have no idea on how to even begin to do, or I know that, okay, there's an efficient way to build this thing. That's how I'll look at it. But the redstone construction that I made there for the station was purely me. Here you can see me mining out the desert. Now this is the biggest project I'm going to be doing, that I have it planned anyway. I'm making a massive hole in this particular part of the desert just to get the sand for structures in town, and to the hole's there's gonna be a building there, and then I use scaffolding to create this temporary monorail system, because I wanted, as I'm going to be mining out the desert, I don't want to keep running back and forth between the town and the hole. So in order to transport and to get to the hole faster, just create a rail system that you can transport all the mined out blocks and yourself quickly. But yeah, that hole, you'll see what it is. I don't want to get into, I might have even mentioned it in a previous episode. If you actually remember, good for you. I will not say anything more. It's gonna be, you'll see what it is eventually.
But it's a lot of, I mean, and when I say massive hole, I mean from the surface here all the way to the bottom, more or less. Yeah. And it's going to be, so there's going to be a huge hole. And I'm in survival, so I'm not going to be, you know, I have to dig out all the blocks with sand or tools. They degrade, wear down. I don't know how many shovels I've already gone through. I have so many picks. But I have the resources, so why not? And the time and the dedication, and the plan. This is me, that's me testing it during the night. But, yeah. The tower that is partially constructed there, I do finish in this episode, I believe. Maybe it's the next one. Maybe it was the previous one. I can't remember what order I've necessarily put everything in. But it's the Grand Library, basically where I want librarians to spawn and get their trading. Excuse me, sorry. Get their training to so I can trade with them, get books and enchanted books, mending. I know that's the one thing I want. Remember, because we're using leather armor and everything, I want mending. So I can enchant my tools, my armor, and everything with that. Now remember, with the leather armor challenge, there is a clause where I can pick up any armor pieces that drop, that mobs may drop. But yeah, I can't craft. I won't be crafting any armor for myself. I won't be using crafted iron armor or anything, but there might be a point where I will be... Oh, this is me, by the way. Looks like, yeah, but making that redstone wiring for the system I wanted. So basically, okay, let me explain real quick. So this we're going to be removing, but the idea was to where I can send up multiple minecarts and have them stay up here instead of like bouncing off the one at the top and then being sent back down. Creating a system where there's like it locks minecarts in place. So using powered rail, when it's unpowered, it acts as like a stopper. So minecarts would come up, they would pass over this powered rail that has a detector rail on the arrival side, so it makes it keep going forward, but then it turns off after it passes over, then it can't. It's blocked from coming back. Obviously, I have to show. I'm probably going to be showing this in an episode, so just wait for that. You'll see it in action. It's way easier to understand. But that whole redstone construction was done just by me. Then I found, as I said, the mine shaft is so extensive that I found. Oh yeah, and I found a ravine down there as well. But I found there's several entrances because it's a maze. It becomes a massive maze. To try and navigate all that is insane. So I created several entry points from the surface. Just created, you can see I got pretty decently close to the pillager outpost. There's an entrance there. I found a mine or a ravine, and there's an entrance there. More slimes look like. So many things. Mining, obviously. What was I talking about before I jumped on that redstone thing? I freaking forgot. Dang it. Oh well. What else is there to say? I'm gonna run out of stuff. We're about 30 minutes. We still have 20 to go. Let me take a quick break because I actually have Minecraft running right now as I have a mob farm and having my character just stand there. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back. Right. Before I started talking about that minecart or the station system, the stopping system, whatever. I was talking about the armor pieces and leather armor primarily, mob dropped armor pieces, sure, but I won't craft anything for myself unless it's a special occasion, unless I'm doing like a boss fight. That is one thing where I don't think leather armor, I don't know if I could survive in leather armor, honestly, even if it's fully enchanted and I have all the good stuff. I don't know if I can survive. So I might be using iron armor, might be using diamond armor for like the Avengers level threat if I'm doing that by myself, I'm gonna need diamond armor. But I might have my friends help out. We'll see. Mark my words. I'm gonna, like when I said I'm gonna open up this server. If I get friends to help me out, then yeah, maybe we'll actually be Avengers, and people have different armor sets, and they can only use certain like abilities. I that's kind of what I hope, but I don't know. Most of my friends, gaming buddies, live in the States, so they're in a completely different time zone. It's very hard to get on at the same time, especially as I work during the week. People often work during the weekends. Just find the time. It's tricky, very tricky. But yeah, so the armor piece is leather armor for the most part, as you've seen, but there may come a time where it just won't be enough. I saw a few hearts. That's right, I did record this. I went off. I might as well not keep this a secret. I went off to the jungle biome because I had run out of saplings, so I needed to chop down trees. I needed saplings. I was hoping I didn't need to come back here, but because I didn't have enough saplings, didn't grow enough trees that drop saplings, I needed more. I do need to make a jungle tree farm to where I get like a stack of saplings, or at least a couple dozen saplings, so to the point where I shouldn't need any more, even if I chop down all the trees, so I can regrow stuff. And then of course when I got back, I got murdered. So this cleared out this area, and this I believe is the point where I think I build the tree farm. Yeah, I put down paths. That's the first thing. That's right. Put down paths to the animal sanctuary, like the nature sanctuary, where I want to have animals of all sorts just in there roaming free. I honestly probably need to go feed a bunch of them, because I noticed a lot of the cows that I had, their population has dwindled, and obviously animals despawn unless you give them a name tag, or you keep feeding them so they don't perish, basically just disappear. But yeah, this is me making a tree farm here, which honestly I think looks pretty sweet. It kind of distinguishes that part of Abydos, gives it a cool little look. It's like a Central Park almost. Then putting down just sandstone, so it's people aren't just walking on sand. It's more concrete, sort of like. I want to, obviously conservationist was the one thing I want to do, but as a city expands, it's going to be tricky to keep all the naturally generated blocks. A lot of stuff is going to change, but this was more for in the beginning, especially when I'm just roaming through the countryside. I don't want to chop down stuff and not replace it. Oh, here it looks like I'm actually building out the Grand Library. I do finish it. It is finished, and it looks pretty cool. It's also it's the biggest structure in town, if you don't count my super tree house, which I don't. It's not really in town. That's my own little area. But unfortunately, it doesn't work the way I wanted it to. There are several floors, you'll see. And I wanted the villagers to be able to go up to the top, even, because I wanted to put down lecterns so the librarians have their workstations up there, but they don't seem to like the stairs I've created. I wish I knew that. I would have kind of changed the design, made it so they can go up there, but maybe they'll explore. It might be the fence pieces that I have set up there as handrails. Can't get around those. Villager AI is kind of, they're basically just, they're dumb. They're dumber than the hostile mobs, because they can't seem to go through fences, open fence doors and the gates and the fence gates. So yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I do like very much the way the tower turned out, the Grand Library. There's several layers here. You can see me putting down acacia trees, or acacia slabs, so that floor is the orange floor. I'm pretty sure I've explained this, so I won't get into the details, but I just this was a building that I had an idea for. It was first to become a adventurers guild, which I've had in the past, but I figured there might be another building for that. This was the library. This is where
it's gonna be filled with knowledge. So, just bookshelves and everything, all the librarians. And I kind of tried to look up some, buildings as reference, church, spires, and just a different, to get the architecture sort of right. I'm not a good designer, and to me, honestly, that is probably the coolest looking thing I've personally built, and that says a lot, because it's not all that impressive. I've seen some other very, very cool looking structures that people have made. Like, oh my god, I've never be able to do that. I'm not that talented, unfortunately. Give me enough time, then maybe, sure, okay, might happen, but no, not this time. I try and just be, if I think things through, I can make it look pretty cool, but I'm not an amazing builder in Minecraft. I focus on kind of just all the aspects in a way, I guess. Jack of all trades, but master of none almost. Combat, hey, I'm pretty good. I mean, if I really tried, I could probably survive on hard, not die as often. But oftentimes I'll just kind of might not think a thing through, jump into a crazy, dangerous situation, then end up dying because of stupidity. But yeah, it's all right. It's my own adventure, and respawning. I'm not playing on hardcore where the freaking server or the world deletes itself. That'd just be too harsh. This series would have ended long ago. Would have ended with my death that I personally. I'm never gonna let that down. Hopefully, not a lot of people watch this, but that's where I kind of dug down and then dug out, even though I could have just placed blocks down. That was just the stupidity of that. Still boggles my mind. This was me making some bamboo, I guess, or the scaffolding. Scaffolding is highly useful. I'm honestly, bamboo is so cool. Scaffolding, so it's to use it to build everything. It's sweet, and bamboo grows so quickly and so easily. It'll grow on like anything. Is that in itself is very, very sweet. But yeah, building out the tower, that was fun. Took a long time. Like I said, this was many days to even construct this thing. But it's grand. It's pretty grand. That's why I've called it the Abydos Grand Library, or the Grand Library of Abydos. No, Abydos Grand Library, I believe is what the name was. I need to name all the buildings because eventually I want all these buildings with workstation to serve a purpose. There is the Leatherworkers building that is full of cauldrons. Now I've lost track how many Leatherworkers I have. Quite a few. To get the leather armor, because then I don't, I can buy it. I don't have to kill cows or other animals, because the idea was to kind of play the game in a way where I'm not just murdering everything. Chickens, I'm sorry, their fate is sealed. It's sort of like in real life for me personally. I don't eat a whole lot of red meat. I'll eat it on occasion, but I do eat a lot of chicken. Why? I don't know. Chickens, far less impact on the environment, smaller animals. Plus, I think of it this way, I like to justify it to where, chickens and all birds are descendants of dinosaurs. It's proven fact, as they've studied the evolution of birds and things. But anyway, so chickens are descendants of dinosaurs. They're pretty pathetic, and they had their chance. Dinosaurs had their chance. When the mammals lived, they used to eat us, and now that the dinosaurs have been wiped out, they have the bird descendants. Now it's the mammals' turn. It's our turn, so I'm gonna eat them. That's kind of how I think of it. But yeah, building that tower was monumental feat, because again, I had to get all that sand. It used a lot of sand because I wanted to use sandstone. Oh, that was me taming a cat, just a stray cat. By the way, Abydos has a stray cat problem. At any given moment, there's probably like 2 or 3 just roaming around. But that's okay. I don't mind. It gives, there are animals in this town now, so it's fun. But what was I going on about? Yeah, the library in itself, it was a feat unto itself because I had to get all the sand. Getting sandstone requires 4 sand to get like 1 sandstone. So, and you can see all that is sandstone. There's no sand. And then crafting all those blocks, a lot of sand, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of blocks of, or stacks of sand. So, well, maybe not hundreds upon hundreds of stacks, but definitely hundreds upon hundreds of blocks. Then yeah, the first time I used stained glass, I figured, hey, why not? Let's make the top level was like the red level with the acacia wood, so let's use red stained glass, and I think it looks really sweet. Some of the windows are just regular, but the bigger panes I use is red. It's personally with the shaders I have, it looks awesome. I think it looks pretty awesome. But yeah, we're nearing the end of this time lapse. I'm trying to remember where I ended it. You will see in the next episode kind of what I've built. I'm gonna be there's even more stuff than you can see here, but that will be in a kind of short time lapse. I'm not gonna do something like this again. I don't see myself doing it. What I'll probably do is if I built a lot, I'll kind of explain what I've built and have a short time lapse during my explanation of the building or whatever going up. But how many people, if you really are interested in seeing as I build everything, leave me a comment, vote in the poll. I'll create a poll for this to gauge interest, but I know I don't have a whole lot of subscribers. I realize not a lot of people are going to have the time to dedicate to watching an hour-long video of just time-lapse Minecraft footage and me blabbering on like a dummy. So, that's cool. I don't mind. I honestly do not mind. But yeah, you can see if you watch. Oh, another wandering trader, Waldo. But yeah, you can see I have the tree farm art now is set up. There is the pumpkin farm and all that was moved. What else? I've started using lanterns. The first building I think was the Grand Library. I started lighting it up, everything with lanterns. They gave off 1 extra illumination. I don't know how to gauge that really, but just to, obviously you want to prevent monsters from spawning within the village borders, light everything up. Eventually I want all the light sources in the village to be lanterns, so that's a lot of lanterns, but that's alright. Lanterns pretty easy to make. You just need the torch and iron, like nuggets. They look pretty cool. What else is there? Not a whole lot. This is me building a path. It's just kind of, again, beautification. This whole thing, I might even call this episode the Abydos, Samplace 1 aka Abydos Beautification Project time-lapsed with commentary. I don't know. Hey, that covers all bases. One thing I guess I could say, well, that's me building a bunch of lecterns for the thing, but iron golems were spawning. A lot of them were spawning in the town, but because there's a ravine, they often went to the edge and fell into the ravine, at which point they were out of village boundaries, and then the village generated another one. It's basically I created a iron farm on accident. I didn't mean to, but I've since fenced off the ravine and rescued all the fallen golems, so there's quite a few golems in town. But yeah, here's me at the top now. This is now at the very top to where the point I was expanding the... Oh yeah, and I jumped off, tried to make it in the water. Yeah, didn't quite cover the distance. But, so the top is now ready to the point where I can lay down a foundation for my cottage. But obviously I haven't built the cottage yet. Oh, it looks like, no, yeah, now I'm building the final tree. That was the last tree. I think can't go any further up. The skybox limit is at the end, so. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting build as well. I don't know what I need to. Again, this will be something I'm going to try and reference to where I'm going to look up Finnish cottages. I know what they look like. I obviously live in Finland. I've been in several cottages, but I want to make it true to where you recognize that. Yeah, that's a Finnish cottage, or a cottage that could be in Finland, if anything. But yeah, we're more or less at the end. Less than a minute to go. I want to thank you if you honestly watched this whole thing. Oh, turtles, that's right. I even set up a little turtle farm or bred a few. Those will be fun. I want all animals to live here. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Thank you for watching if you truly did. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like. Sorry for my incoherency and my blabber, but again, this was documenting the changes that have been made to Sandplace 1, and there have been many. You will see once, we slow everything down and I show you everything that I've built. You'll and then you look back at the older episodes, you'll be like, whoa. And yeah, like I said, hours upon hours of footage. So yeah, thanks everyone. Catch you on the flip side. Peace out.